Okay, purpose of this video is to go over what you're supposed to be doing for this essay, which I've detailed in class, but this should help you. Make sure you're using the Writing the Persuasive Essay Guide. This very clearly should indicate what you're supposed to do in each of the various sections. We've talked about these things in class: planning the essay, the criteria to make an effective argument. The concession is where you take your opponent's strongest argument and you undo it. You say it's why it's not true. You poke holes in it. In terms of essay structure, you're going to have an introduction. We talked about the hook or grabber. And if you click on this link, it takes you to the other document, which is also on Google Classroom, which talks about ways you can start with an unusual detail, with a strong statement, with a quotation, with an anecdote, with a statistic or fact, with an exaggeration or outrageous statement. You want to make sure you have a thesis that specifically states what you are asking for, what you want. It tells the reader the topic of your essay. It imposes limits on your topic, and it suggests what the organization is going to be. In other words, you may want to quickly say what your reasons are going to be, which I do here in my sample essay. Okay, smartphones should be banned from public schools. They are a distraction. They facilitate cheating, and they send the message that the social lives of students aren't important enough to bite into learning time. Okay, that becomes my 3 reasons. We also review the concession statement, where you take your opponent's best argument and you smash it, which we talked about in class. This is the specific document on the intro. Here's the sample essay. You're going to want to review the checklist at the end. This goes over each of the things you're supposed to have done in your essay. Okay, you should definitely look at these and make sure you've done this in your essay for maximum effect and the best possible grade. We also reviewed logos, pathos, ethos, kairos, which are Aristotle's rhetorical strategies. We talked about them in class. Logos meaning the logic. Ethos is credibility, using expert testimony and quotes from research. Pathos is the emotional component, appealing to the morals, the values, beliefs of your audience. And kairos is the timeliness of an argument. Okay, it's a timely argument to talk about removing Confederate statues or not. It's been in the news. Also, which type of person you would use in which type of appeal. An advertisement in AARP, a retired person's magazine, wouldn't use Kim Kardashian. It would be more appropriate in a teenage magazine or a younger person's magazine. So you have your kairos, timeliness, pathos, emotion, ethos is the credibility, and logos is logic. You want to use these to maximum effect in your essay. What I'd like to do is go to the sample essay. This is my opening statement. Okay, it hooks the reader and grabs the attention of the reader and previews what this topic is going to be about. In this case, banning cell phones, smartphones in school. My thesis very clearly states my topic. Smartphones should be banned from public schools, and it previews what my paragraph is going to be. They are a distraction. They facilitate cheating. They send the message that the social lives of students are important enough to buy into learning time. And then my concession statement is the third chunk of the introduction, where you take your opponent's argument and say why it's not true. While some parents and students may argue that carrying cell phones is a safety issue or one of civil liberties, 200 years of effective education in this country that took place before cell phones existed serves as enough evidence to refute such claims. Further, schools have always limited what students can and cannot bring to school. Okay, and it's detailed over here in the right margin. Here is my topic sentence. I establish my reason for this paragraph. Okay, this is about using them to cheat. Here's my concrete detail. It's a quote. I say who the person who said the quote was. I got this from an article, but I still have to say who it was. And I have to go back into the article and find out who said it. Dr. Richard Manning, an assistant principal, former English teacher, Littleton School District in Durham. And then, very important, is my in-text citation. It was written by a man named Bill Moore. So I put the author's last name. If you have a page number, you put it. If you do not, you just put Moore, whatever the author's last name is. If there is no author, you put the title of the article up to 3 or 4 words in italics. If there is no title, which is rare, you can put the publication. Next paragraph gets into phones are a distraction. You'll see here I quoted a magazine and I used the publication. And here's the page number. If you don't have the page number, you would just put NEA. My third argument is also my concession. While many parents and students are claiming their children need the phones for safety or in case of emergency, students managed in school till further reason without the use of cell phones. So I take apart the argument and then I use evidence to support it. Okay, the author's name is Walker, page 21. If you don't have the page, you just put the author's last name. In my conclusion, you're going to want to restate your thesis, and then you need to use a final closing argument. You summarize your points, appeal to the emotions of the reader, and use those rhetorical strategies to maximize effect in the last paragraph. You'll see my works cited comes last. You list it. It will export it for you in Noodle Tools, which I'll show you. If you do not have the author, you would just start with the title. It's going to do this for you automatically. If there's an author, it's last name, first name, then the title, then the source, in this case, the Greenville Pioneer, the date, page number. If it doesn't have any of that information, it won't put it. It probably will also put the database and the URL because you're using internet sources. Here's another one where Walker Lawrence is the last author of the article. You'll notice that I did not quote this person directly. This is a paraphrase, but I still have to put the citation because I got it from somewhere else. Anything that you did not think of yourself and you read somewhere else, you must use a citation for. So make sure you use the resources that I have given you in Google Classroom. Make sure you are using the checklist. Make sure you proofread, and make sure you look at the video on how you should create and attach your final draft. Okay, I'm sure you'll do a great job.